Good morning, class. In this video, I'm going to be reading you the Greek myth of Uranus. In the beginning, there is nothing, only emptiness. Out of this emptiness, known as chaos, emerged three immortal beings: the lovely earth, called Gaia, the dark underworld, known as Tartarus, and the handsome spirit of love called Eros, whose presence allowed much of creation to occur. So know that in the beginning, there's only emptiness. Now, chaos is something that was in our creation myths, so that should be somewhat familiar. Gaia, without any partner, gave birth to Uranus, the starry evening sky. So we know that Uranus is the starry evening sky, which we can see in our photo up here. All alone, Gaia also gave birth to Aurea, mountains, and Pontus, sea. In time, Gaia took Uranus to be her husband, and together they birthed a generation of powerful beings. First, Gaia gave birth to a triplet, a set of 100-handed giants. Each giant had 50 heads and 100 powerful arms. Uranus, who was fearful of his children's incredible strength, banished them to Tartarus, where they were bound in chains and kept in dank darkness of the underworld caverns. Soon Gaia gave birth to another set of triplets. This time the children were born in the figure of gods, but each had only one large eye set in the middle of his forehead. These three children were the first Cyclops, an incredibly talented group of craftsmen. So far, their kids are the Cyclops and the 100-handed giants. So clearly Gaia and Uranus' kids are pretty powerful people. Uranus feared their potential power, and just as he had done with his other sons, cast them deep within Gaia's body to join their brothers in the confines of the underworld. Deep in the bowels of the earth, the 6 sons grew to detest their father. Gaia was outraged by her husband's actions, and though she pretended to understand and accept his fear, she secretly plotted for the day she would exact her revenge on him and free her captive sons. So we know that Gaia wants to free her sons. She's outraged by her husband's actions. The next immortal children born to Gaia and Uranus were the 12 Titans. They and their children became the oldest generation of the Greek gods. It's important to note. The females were Mnemosyne, Tethys, Thea, Phoebe, Rhea, and Themis. The males were Oceanus, Hyperion, Coeus, Crios, Iapetus, and Cronos. Cronos married his sister Rhea, who was a goddess of the earth like her mother, and in time they became the parents of several crucial Greek gods, including Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. Once her Titan children were of age, Gaia decided the time had finally arrived for her to take action against Uranus. From deep within her own soil, she took a large piece of flint and shaped it into a huge stone sickle with the edge of a razor. "Children," she announced while Uranus was away, "you know I have long detested your father's wicked ways. If one of you is strong enough, we now have this tool that can end his tyrannical rule. Which of you will lead us in removing him from power?" So we know that Gaia was the one who got her children to turn against Uranus. The Titans grew pale at the idea of attacking all-powerful Uranus until Cronos, the youngest of the set, stepped forward. "I will help you, Mother," he announced. So Cronos took the initiative. "You know I have nothing but hate in my heart for him, and I ache to bring justice to our older brothers who have been unjustly imprisoned for far too long." Cronos' courage emboldened the others, and a plan was set. That evening, when Uranus returned and sought to lie beside his wife in want of her warm body, he didn't know that Cronos hid nearby, with the sharpened edge of the sickle poised in the air. Quicker than thought, Cronos lunged and grabbed Uranus in his mighty hands, slicing and slicing again. Cronos mutilated his father's body, deaf to the panic screams of the elder. Immortality prevented Uranus from being killed, but he was not protected from the excruciating pain of not only the physical distress, but also the knowledge that his reign of power was at its end. It's a gruesome ending. At his mother's direction, Cronos threw the several pieces of Uranus's body into the ocean. So we know that his body was dismembered and thrown into the ocean. In time, Uranus's blood seeped back into the earth, and another group of monstrous beings were created, the Furies. These female creatures with eyes that dripped venom were disgusting, but just. Greeks believed that Furies would torment any child who killed a parent because they would stalk the murderer until he became insane. From the same blood, Gaia also eventually bore another group of beings, powerful warriors simply called the Giants. Once Uranus's rule was ended, Cronos' bravery was celebrated by his family. He claimed his destiny and took control of the world. So we know that Cronos now has control of the world. And this ends the myth of Uranus.